What's good, boys? It's me, Eminem, and today I'm gonna reveal some new cards for the Sisters of Silence from the upcoming TITANDEATH expansion, including the mission. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first card I got for you are the Ice Dragons, a common troop to energy 2/2, so it dies to pretty much everything, and it got rally effect, deal 3 damage to random enemy with stealth. So I don't like this at all, to be honest. As mentioned, it dies to pretty much everything, and the sisters simply don't need this at all. I mean, they got Steel Talonhawk, and Steel Talonhawk isn't useless in matchups where the enemy doesn't play any stealth troops. And if you want to play something like that, just play a Secretary Peltast. The Secretary Peltast doesn't die to everything, basically, and it also stuns the enemy, and it does 1 less damage, but I think it's still better. So I'm pretty sure this won't see any play. This is like a one-time use Joker company, and those don't see play either. So yeah, not the fun about this one. Let's check out the next. The next card is a rare tactic. It's called Daughters of the Abyss, and for 3 energy you can choose a Sisters of Silence infantry and put it in your hand. It costs 2 less. So this is basically a reprint of Olympia from the Iron Warriors, so minus points for lack of creativity here. But I don't think it's too bad, because Sisters of Silence troops have 2 things in common. First of all, they are most of the time pretty good, except the one I revealed before. And the second thing is, they are fairly situational, so in some matchups you maybe want another Ice Serpent against that Karn or Angron, and in some matchups you maybe even want something like Excruciation Skater, which you usually don't run in your deck. So this can certainly come in handy, and I see this being played maybe once or twice in Kroll even, who kind of struggles with card draw most of the time, so not too shabby. To the next one. Alright, and now as promised, I got the mission for the Sisters of Silence, and it's called, wow, Silent Sisterhood. Of course, it's 1 energy, as all missions except the Iron Warrior one. To complete it, you need to kill off a friendly troop during your turn 5 times. Sounds familiar, right? Yeah, it's like Petorabo, but here it's Petorabo Whispers with extra steps. It needs to die while attacking, so you can't just call your whole board, deal a shit ton of damage to the enemy warlord, and complete the mission. Yeah, this is not gonna work. To complete it, I guess you will have to run stuff like Goldstones or Steel Foxes, which usually don't see play in Sisters of Silence decks. So the reward has to be really sick, right? Because this is actually harder than it sounds, I believe, even though the Sisters of Silence are a troop faction with a lot of like weenies, but yeah, nonetheless. Let's check out the reward. The reward for the mission is called Talons of the Emperor, and it states your warlord gains when a friendly unit triggers rally, it triggers twice. So on paper this is pretty good, and the Sisters of Silence have a lot of rally troops. I believe they have 12 if I counted correctly, but there's one major problem. By the time you completed it, you have depleted most of your troops, and most of the good rallies are actually early game, like the Prosecutor Mistress. For example, this would like deal 1 damage twice to the whole board. But is it worth it having that as a mission reward? I don't know, missions are supposed to win you the game. I'm also not exactly sure how cards like Ice Serpents or White Asps work, because, well, these rally effects, they only apply once. So will this give counterattack to the same enemy twice? Or am I able to choose 1 target and then another? If the second is the case, then it's pretty good, I guess, but very, very situational. There are only a few cards which really benefit from that. There's of course the Raptor Guard, which will heal you for 10. Silver Osprey is probably the best one, dealing either 4 damage or 10 to vehicles with Titan weapons. Stuff like White Falcons or the Female King don't get affected at all. Abner Rodin will draw 6 cards and heal twice the amount. That's not too bad, I guess, but you kind of will overdraw, I believe, sometime. And Iron Lynx will spawn a whole army of doggies. So yeah, this can be good, but in order to complete it, as mentioned, you will have used up most of your troops, I believe. And in the neutral sector, there aren't too many good rally troops. So stuff in mind comes like the Insane Tune, maybe drawing 2 cards, Last Rebel Section dealing 2 damage, or the Hannon's Mortis dealing 4 damage to random enemy twice. From the Mechanicum, I believe only the Pi Alpha. There are a lot of rally troops there, but none of them are really that much worth it. And from the Chaos faction, I think there's only Reldred and the Trader crew. So yeah, there's not that much of a choice. I don't think this is going to be that useful, although it sounds cool on paper. But as mentioned, it's also pretty hard to complete it. So we will see what you metalheads come up with. Maybe some of you guys can make this work really effectively. I'm really not so sure, but I believe that it's not gonna be too good. I mean, the mission with the reward. The reward itself, not too bad, but we'll see. Alright boys, that's it for my reveals. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to not miss out the stream. I'm gonna stream on Friday where we test out the cards from the third wave of the expansion, do some event runs, maybe build a deck or two, and I hope to see you then. And until then, midnight out.